So here's the scene. It's 11 at night, the day is finally done, and all anyone wants is to fall into a bedroom that feels like a slow exhale. Instead, the lights flick on, and the room is screaming. Bright white walls, blue-toned ceiling light, everything sharp and clinical like a dentist's office that happens to have a bed in it. There's no softness, no hush, nothing that says rest. And the worst part? It cost real money to make it feel this cold. The good news is that fixing it isn't about buying more. It's about choosing two colors that know how to whisper instead of shout. Now, before getting into the pairings, let me kill a myth that ruins more bedrooms than bad mattresses. Somewhere along the way, people started believing that dark walls make a small room feel smaller. Designers hear it constantly, and it's mostly nonsense. Dark colors don't shrink a room, they blur its edges. When a wall and the shadows around it melt together, the brain stops measuring the corners, and the space starts to feel endless and wrapped around you, like being tucked into something. That cocooning effect is the whole point of Moody design, and it's exactly what makes a bedroom feel romantic instead of just decorated. Let's start with the pairing that feels like red wine in a dim room. Burgundy is that deep, almost edible red that lives somewhere between cherry and dried rosé, and charcoal is the soft gray-black that keeps it grounded. On their own, both can feel a little heavy. Together, they balance each other like a good slow dance. Here's how to actually live with it. Paint 3 of the walls in that warm charcoal so the room settles into a calm shadow. Then save the burgundy for one feature wall behind the bed, or pour it into the soft stuff instead. A velvet headboard, the curtains, a couple of throw pillows. The trick is restraint. Burgundy everywhere becomes a steakhouse, but burgundy in the right places becomes a love letter. Texture is what takes this from gloomy to gorgeous. Reach for matte paint, never glossy, and lean into velvet and heavy linen so the colors absorb the light instead of bouncing it back. And speaking of light, keep it low and golden. A dimmable bedside lamp around 2700 Kelvin, maybe a candle if you're feeling theatrical, and the burgundy starts to glow like embers. Morning light is a different mood entirely, cooler and quieter, which is the fun of dark rooms. They change personality depending on the hour, and they never get boring. Next up is the pairing that feels like jewelry for a wall. Emerald is a rich, leafy green with real depth, and navy is that soft, velvety blue that sits right on the edge of black. Put them side by side, and the room reads expensive instantly, even if nothing in it actually was. For this one, let the emerald take the main wall behind the bed, where it can do its slow, glamorous thing. Then bring the navy in through the bedding, or a single statement armchair in the corner, the kind of chair that collects clothes during the week and looks intentional on the weekend. We've all got one. Now the magic ingredient. Add a hint of brass or gold hardware, drawer pulls, a lamp base, a thin picture frame, and the whole palette lifts, like someone turned up the warmth in the room. There's a bit of biophilic design quietly working here too, which just means humans are wired to relax around the colors of nature. Green and deep blue echo forests and dusk, so the body settles without being told to. Layer in some warm wood and a plush rug underfoot, and the space stops being a bedroom and starts being a retreat. Now for the pairing with range. Plum is a deep, dusky purple, the color of a fig cut open, and blush is that soft, barely there pink with a touch of beige in it. This combo is interesting because it's dramatic and tender at the same time, which is a rare thing to pull off. Keep the plum on a single accent wall so it makes a statement without swallowing the room, then let the blush handle the softening. Linens, lampshades, a piece of art with pink in it. Blush is the secret here. Without it, Plum can feel a little heavy and serious, almost moody to a fault. With it, the room reads romantic and modern, like a boudoir that also happens to be a place a real adult sleeps. This is a great moment to think about visual weight, which is just how heavy or light something feels to the eye. The plum is the heavyweight, so it needs the blush as a counterbalance, scattered low and soft around the room. Get that ratio right, and the space feels intentional, never gloomy. If burgundy feels too bold and emerald feels too loud, this is the gentle giant of the group. Midnight blue is that inky, almost black blue that looks like the sky an hour after sunset, and taupe is a warm, grounded grayish with a caramel undertone. Cool meets warm, and the result feels like a hug from across the room. Take the midnight blue onto the walls and let it go full depth. Then warm everything back up with taupe furniture and bedding so the contrast feels like comfort instead of conflict. This is the most livable pairing of the five, the one that works whether the bedroom belongs to a couple or a solo dweller who simply refuses to apologize for liking nice things. Layering is what makes it sing. Stack a rug on a rug, mix linen with a chunkier knit throw, and add warm metal bedside lamps so the glow stays golden after dark. Around dusk, when the room's blue and the sky's blue line up through the window, the whole thing feels cinematic. It's the kind of room people quietly do not want to leave in the morning. Last but absolutely not least is the showstopper. Blackened teal is a deep, smoky blue-green that reads almost black until light hits it. And antique gold is that soft, aged metal with none of the shine of new brass. This is the pairing for someone who wants drama with a little glamour stitched in. Put the teal on the walls or a tall headboard so it surrounds the bed, then bring the gold in through lighting, picture frames, and warm wood. The gold is doing something specific here. Cool teal alone can drift a little chilly, but warm metal pulls it back toward inviting, like adding honey to something bitter. Unlacquered brass works beautifully too, since it ages and softens over time, picking up a lived-in patina that makes the room feel like it has a history. Keep the bulbs warm, somewhere between 2700 Kelvin and 3000 Kelvin, and let small areas of light interrupt the dark. A pale pillow, a strip of trim, a candle on the nightstand. That little bit of contrast is what separates a moody room from a cave, and it's the difference between sultry and just plain dark. So if there's one thing to carry out of all this, it's this. A romantic bedroom isn't built from the brightest colors or the most expensive things. It's built from contrast, from the warm light fighting the deep shadow, from velvet meeting matte, from one bold color leaning on one soft one. Darkness in a bedroom isn't something to fear, it's something to wrap yourself in. Pick two colors that trust each other, light them low and golden, and let the room do the quiet, glamorous work of helping you finally rest.